Everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns with another tabletop review video. Today we're looking at an airsoft pistol. As you can see, it's got the orange tip, so that's an airsoft pistol. Here in Canada we don't need the orange tips, but some of the guns come through the US, so the US versions will have orange tips on them. If they're shipped directly from the companies, the manufacturers, to us, don't go through the US, and oftentimes they won't have orange tips here in Canada because we don't require them. Alright, let's proceed. So this is the Gletcher TT-A for airsoft, and it's a Tokarev CO2 Blowback Airsoft pistol. It's a replica of the Russian TT Tokarev. Not sure exactly how you say it. Tokarev, I don't know. Anyways, we'll call it a Tokarev. So let's get right into the specification. Again, it's a replica of the Russian TT Tokarev. It has blowback operation. It's an almost all metal designed gun with a smooth bore steel barrel. It uses standard 12-gram CO2 cartridges. And because it's airsoft, it shoots 6mm plastic airsoft BBs. It does have a metal stick magazine, which I'll show you, and it holds 13 rounds, which is less than the steel BB version because the steel BB version is a smaller ammunition. You can put more in it, makes sense, right? This airsoft pistol weighs in at 1.37 pounds or 620 grams and shoots in single action only. It has fixed sights front and back. Now the claimed FPS inside the box states 263 or 80 meters per second. Seems kind of low because even the BB version shoots higher than that. So I'm assuming this gun's going to do a little better when I do put it on the chronograph. And even for Canadian import, typically we need to be up and over a certain threshold, 360, in order to import them into Canada. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It might be a misprint. We'll find out when I do the field test shooting video. It has a black or kind of grayish finish to it. It's not really black, it's not really gray. It's somewhere in the middle, sort of a charcoal color. Looks good though. And again, this gun is distributed by Gletcher SMG Inc., which is Sports Manufacturing Group. Now a little insight into Gletcher. They're not so much a company that makes the guns. They buy them through other companies. They get their logos and brandings put on there. They add their sort of specific packaging, boxing, a little bit of an extended warranty through Gletcher. They have an 18-month warranty. But again, they're not a company that actually makes the guns, okay? So let's keep that in mind. They get their guns from companies like KWC, Wing Gun, a whole bunch of different companies, usually out of Taiwan. Speaking of Taiwan, this gun is made in Taiwan, and it does come in this nice packaging. Gletcher does do a good job of their packaging. Usually everything looks really good. You can see they have their 18-month warranty. There's the TT-A, okay? You can see here full metal blowback CO2. Right, on the back, some more specifications. Right, weight, body material metal, slide material metal, 13 rounds. Okay, inside in the manual you can actually see what the FPS is. I'll show you that in a sec. But I did kind of want to really quickly compare it to the BB version, which is really not that different. Same gun, just doesn't have the A or the orange tip on it. This is the steel BB version, same magazines, but this one's chambered for 4.5mm steel BB. But really they're the same gun, okay? And I have reviewed the BB version. I'm pretty sure I've shot it, done field test videos, and a tabletop video for that, so check that out if you're interested in the BB version. Quickly want to show you the manual, right? And show you that specification, specifically the velocity, 263, 80 meters per second. Okay, you have length and stuff in here if you want to know more about it. You can look through here, but no, it's a manual. Shows you how to use it. Oftentimes it shows you, how to sight it in, how to work the slide, how to load ammunition into the magazine. Some of these manuals will have what not to do, little pictures, but this one doesn't. And then it comes in different languages as well. You also get your CO2 screw, which fits nicely into the CO2 screw there, or CO2 Allen key that fits into the CO2 screw. Don't lose that, but if you do, not a big deal, it's a standard size. And just really quickly show you, this comes off, right, and that's how you put your CO2 in, right through the side there, right? You'll have to back that off to get it in, but that's where your CO2 goes. Oh, gotta have that in the right way. But it's nice, it fits on there good, it comes off real easy. It's not a bad system, and the CO2 screw is well hidden. I kind of like that. So let's do a quick walk around, show you this gun up a little closer, get in here tight, try and show it off a bit, right? So we'll look through here. So the slide does lock back on the last shot, which is nice. When you're out of ammunition, you're not going to be able to shoot anymore. You do have this kind of interesting trigger. It's supposed to look like a single action trigger. It is a single action trigger, but it is a little different than what you'd find on a real Tokarev. Again, you have this magazine. This is the 6mm version with the magazine release there, right? So you put your BBs in. You can pull your follower down, right? Pop your BBs in, release the follower, and put the magazine back in. All right, you do have nice logoing here, right? Everything fit and finish is pretty nice, right? So it is single action only. The slide has to come back for you to shoot it. The blowback action will do that for you. You got your rear sight, no white dots or anything, right? Here you have the Gletcher symbol or branding, right? Some of the information, caliber. This is your safety, by the way, which is kind of neat because this piece is on the real Tokarev, and this sort of blends into it. It's actually pretty discreet. It's a nice place to put it. You can see how this trigger is sort of like a two-stage type thing, the way they've done it. A little different. Okay, you do have these pins in here. I'm not sure if the real Tokarev has that. I can't remember offhand. But you'll see here with the plastic tip, it's like the barrel's extended, right? So it is different than that one. I'm not sure if it's going to be easy to take off or if this little extension is going to be coming out at the end of the day. I just don't know. There's your front sight, right? All fixed sights, right? Open ejection port, but you can't see through or anything. All right. All right, let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. There's not a lot of Tokarevs out there, BB or Airsoft, so it's kind of nice that at least we have this version if you're a Tokarev fan. And I kind of like the Tokarev design. It's an older design, almost like a predecessor to the 1911. I'm not sure which came out first. I think the Tokarev did, but the 1911 does sort of share some attributes to it. Now it does have a pretty solid weight. It's not a big gun, so for its size it's got decent weight, and it's mostly all metal construction, which is nice. Again, that CO2 is well hidden, and hopefully if that orange tip comes off and that metal piece is part of the orange tip, then hopefully it has the metal recessed barrel like the BB version, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. Hopefully it does. Now it does have that 13-round all-metal stick magazine, so it's compact. If you're going to use this in the field, you could store a lot of those in your ammo bag fairly easily and have tons of ammunition ready to go. I like that the blowback operation works and the slide locks back on the last round. Plus the blowback operation does put the hammer back, making the single action trigger potentially a little easier, although it's not super smooth, a little bit on the heavy side. And as I was saying, the Tokarev reminds me a lot of a 1911. It's just a little bit smaller, more compact version. You know, it's different, the handle's different, but if you're actually holding it in your hand, right, it kind of does look like a 1911 in a way, right? Just a little different, but it's got that narrow look, you know, sort of rounded in spots look like a 1911. It's just a little more smaller, more compact. All right, some of the cons. The single action trigger is a little bit heavy and long. The trigger looks a little bit funky with that sort of weird sort of two-stage thing going on. It's not like the real Tokarev, so I'd like to see maybe a little different trigger design if it's possible, but who knows. I would have also liked to have seen a full-size dropout metal magazine. In terms of realism, in terms of practicality, it doesn't matter if you're shooting in the field, you want more ammunition at less weight and smaller size, then the stick magazine is probably a better option. But for realism purposes, I'd like the full-size one, and you know, a lot of people buy these guns for their realism. And again, I'm not sure if that orange tip can be easily removed. Some of them are easier than others. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell with this gun. I haven't tried it myself. Now, I did want to mention we have this gun in our Canada and US Replica Airgun store over at replicaairguns.ca and replicaairguns.us. We have them for sale in both stores. We carry it in the BB version and the Airsoft version, so you can get whichever one you're interested in. I've also got a written post I'll have for this gun with additional photos, so check that out at replicaairguns.com over on our blog. I'll put a link in the description. I'll also put links in the description of this video for you to buy them. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.